Hello everyone. Now let's talk about the mystery behind Pepsi Paloma's death. If you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and notification bell to keep you updated on stories and trivia like this one. No wonder why? It is one of the most intriguing and talked about in the history of the country. How sad Pepsi Paloma's life was, and how mysterious it was as well. Although having happened 3 decades ago, her death continues to get a good amount of attention, especially when the band Eraserheads released the controversial song, Spolarium in 1997. And in the lyrics of the said song, it included 3 well-known comedians that they were related to Pepsi Paloma's rape story. Was Pepsi Paloma the real inspiration behind the song? In the year 2011, in a Jessica Zafra's Q&A with Eli Buendia for his blog about the song Spolarium, on one of Eli Buendia's statement which only added fuel to the flame about the issue was his cryptic message: "I will take this secret to the grave." But of course, if there's anyone who will bring this intriguing secrets to the grave, that would be Pepsi Paloma herself. Pepsi Paloma was born on March 11, 1966. Pepsi, or Delia Duenas Smith in real life, was the eldest of 4 children. They were raised by their single mother, a Samar native named Lydia Duenas, after they were abandoned when they were still young, by their American father named Kenneth Smith. In 1980, young Delia met Tita Esther, as she was called, and introduced her to Ray de la Cruz, a talent scout, and who helped talented individuals get into show business. And so happened that Ray de la Cruz became the manager of Pepsi Paloma. Delia Smith quickly entered the show business, and at an early age of 14 years old, she was known as Pepsi Paloma. At first, Delia was originally given the screen name Scarlett, but Ray de la Cruz believed that it didn't give her any luck, so her manager changed it to Pepsi Paloma. Soon, a group of girls was born called soft drink beauties or soda beauties, because their names were formed from well-known names or brands of sodas. Its members were Myrna Manibogue, Sarcy Emmanuel, Coca Nicholas, and Pepsi Paloma herself. In June 1982, she was with fellow actress Gwada Gwaran and made guest appearances at the comedy show Iskal Bukal, which starred Eat Bulaga's TV hosts, Vic Soto, Joey De Leon, and Richie D. Horsey. Paloma claimed that after the taping that her blouse were ripped open by the trio and forcefully kissed her. She said that Richie pinned her arms at her back so Vic could kiss her effortlessly while Joey took photographs. The incident happened at the Broadcast City, a television and radio broadcast center in Diliman, Quezon City, where the trio's home network, IBC 13, was located. Later that evening, Paloma and Guadagwaran were brought to room 210 of the nearby Sulo Hotel, a favorite hangout of TV hosts after their taping because of its affordable coffee and lumpiang ubad. Pepsi and Guada reported the TV hosts to the authorities that they were both allegedly drugged and raped in the said hotel. The scandal made headlines and became the cover story on newspapers and major entertainment magazines. After Pepsi and Guada filed a complaint with their manager Ray de la Cruz to former Defense Minister Juan Ponce Enrile. Meanwhile, in a Who magazine interview, published on September 29, 1982, Joey De Leon and the two Soto brothers told their side of the story. Although Tito was not there in the crime scene, he was quick to deny his brother Vic's involvement. According to Tito, the two women came after the TV hosts, not the other way around. After the taping for Iskal Buckle, the actresses requested for souvenir photos of the boys kissing them. Tito Soto, who was in the dressing room at that time getting a massage. Tito also countered Pepsi's accusation about their blouses that were ripped apart, saying suppose we did tear their shirts apart at Broadcast City, why would they follow us all the way to Sulo? To get a script? You mean nobody saw them in their tattered shirt? That's impossible. Tito remarked, imagine Vic Soto, Babakla Bakla, raping a woman. On the other hand, the controversy did not prevent Joey De Leon's trademark humor. We know him for being a joker and double meaning. In the preliminary arraignment, for example, he wore a statement T-shirt bearing the words "Coke is it?" Apparently in reference to one of the soft drink beauty who is Pepsi Paloma. In the middle of a hearing at the fiscal's office of Quezon City, still, many offer support to the TV hosts, many took pictures with them. In a newspaper, Joey De Leon nonchalantly stated, martial law should be declared again, so press freedom will be stopped. His frustration was directed to the nosy writers who abused the said press freedom, invading people's privacy and spreading malicious lies. The three TV hosts eventually made a public apology on national TV on October 13, 1982. Unfortunately, no record of it exists. In the said public apology, they did not specifically mention the word rape. This was their statement. We hope that the error we have committed you will not let it to be a stumbling block for the future, so we, therefore, asking in your heart for forgiveness to pardon us for the wrongdoing which we have done against you. Intriguingly enough, Pepsi later said that she was forced to sign the affidavit by Tito Soto, who allegedly wielded a gun in front of her. That is why, since then, controversies never stopped hounding Pepsi Paloma's name. A year after, since the incident and when the controversy has spread, she was charged by the CIS, Criminal Investigation Service, when they caught her in a raid at Paulette Theatre in an indecent dance performance in Bailey Uog, Bulacan. She also left her manager for her boyfriend, Roy Rustin, who was living in Makati. During this time, Pepsi allegedly had an abortion and became addicted to drugs. By that time, she decided to return to Ray de la Cruz in 1983. Pepsi was so thin and frail. Then she was confined to a private hospital. Interestingly, Pepsi agreed to star in the movie The Victim, which tried to exploit her experience as a rape victim on May 31, 1985. Pepsi Paloma ended her troubled life through hanging herself with a cotton sash. According to a police investigation, Pepsi took her own life sometime between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m., but it was 6 p.m. when her body was discovered by her boyfriend and her half-brother, whose name is Zaldy White, and two housemaids. Zaldy said that after eating lunch, Pepsi went upstairs to her room and told the two housemaids not to wake her up because she will lock the door. Pepsi's boyfriend tried to call her at about 3 p.m. and Zaldy was also knocking the door, but there was no response. By the time her boyfriend arrived at 6 p.m. and still no response in waking her up, her boyfriend destroyed the door and Pepsi was already found dead. In her suicide note, Paloma said that this is a crazy planet. In her diary, expenses were written down: dentist schedule, tuition of her siblings and various other fee. Found in this diary were various complaints in her life like financial problems, not having enough movie roles, the weight of family responsibilities, and even her resentment toward a distant mother, was cited in her diary. In her own words, she said that I don't have too many movies, it costs a lot. I spend it all on the house, even the tuition fees of my siblings, I did all the spending. I don't know if I was considered my mother's real child. On top of all these, no forensic investigation was ever done to verify the diary that belonged to Pepsi. Through a background check, according to Sarcy Emanuel, one of her closest friend, and co-member of the Soda Beauties, that ever since, when the rape case was still ongoing, last 1982, there were also several attempts to end her life by cutting herself with a blade, but was stopped by her manager Ray de la Cruz and Gil Guerrero. Pepsi Paloma was laid to rest on June 8, 1985 in Olongapo Memorial Park. Meanwhile, in a 2016 election, in an interview with Tito Sotto, he said that the Pepsi Paloma scandal was a mere gimmick of Ray de la Cruz. Some answers may already be answered, but many important answers to the unanswered questions remain mysterious and a secret. The controversy over Pepsi Paloma's name remains a mystery. What do you think is the side to the truth? After you hear the accuser's side and the defendant's side, if they are really innocent, then why there was a public apology? If you have any comments on this, please leave a comment below about this video and express your thoughts about it. Thank you very much. Until next time.